Diesel 10 coming. She quickly sped away, whistling very loudly. "Lady," called Thomas, "come back." Burnett heard Lady's whistle and spun around too. He saw Diesel 10 there. "Get away from my engine," he cried. He ran over and hopped aboard Thomas. "What's happening, sir?" asked Thomas. "Just run, Thomas, run, before he catches you." Thomas raced off. Soon, however, there was trouble. They needed to go along the curved line, but a man dressed as a signalman stood in their way. "What's the hold-up?" called Burnett from inside Thomas's cab. "Lady, we need to go." "I can't," said Lady. "He's blocking our way." "Excuse me," said the signalman, "but you need papers to go on this track." "Papers," said Thomas. "I don't even have papers. What's the deal here?" Just then, however, there was trouble. Burnett stepped out of Thomas's cab and saw the signalman. The signalman recognized him. "Well," said the signalman, "if it isn't my old friend, Burnett Stone." "Huh," said Burnett, "if it isn't my old arch-enemy, Pete Theodore Boomer." "Pete Theodore Boomer?" said Lady. "Is this him, sir?" "Yes, he's the one trying to destroy you." "I'm not trying to destroy Lady," said Boomer. "I'm just trying to take her back." "Exactly," he said. "You're trying to take her back and destroy her so you can build your own engine." Lady was very scared. "I need to go now," she cried, and she raced off. "Bother," said Burnett. "Lady, come back." Just then Boomer ran at Burnett. Burnett hopped inside Thomas's cab, and Thomas sped away. Meanwhile, Diesel 10 was chasing after both of them. He came over the hill and stopped where the signalman was. "About time you got here," said Boomer. "Diesel 10, why didn't you get rid of her before this?" "Sorry," said Diesel 10, "she just arrived. I was planning on doing it, sir, I promise." "Huh," said Boomer. "It's almost like I built you for nothing. Come on, let's go after them." Boomer hopped aboard and Diesel 10 rushed away. Thomas and Lady raced through Knapford Station and up over Henry's Tunnel. "What's the big deal here?" gasped Burnett. "Why are you and Boomer having this fight?" "It's a long story," said Burnett. "Just keep going." "I have time," said Thomas. "All right," said Burnett. "Boomer and I have been friends for a very long time. When we were in college, however, for our final project, we were going to build a steam engine. However, we had conflicting ideas." "What do you mean?" asked Thomas. "What I mean," said Burnett, "is that he wanted to build a diesel and I wanted to build a steam engine. I ended up stealing the blueprints from him for a steam engine and ended up building a Lady. I got an A on it, while he had to build a model of an engine and got a C. He's been mad at me ever since, and he wants to destroy Lady." "Bother," said Thomas. "Well, does that mean that Diesel 10 is his creation?" "Yes," said Burnett. Why is he here anyway?" "One of our engines got sick, and Diesel 10 was their replacement engine." "Bother," he said. "Well, if we can outrun Diesel 10, then I'm pretty sure we can get off the island." "The only way off the island," said Thomas, "is by boat." "Oh no," said Burnett. "There's another way," and they charged underneath Gordon's Hill. But there was soon trouble. Diesel 10 was a much faster and stronger engine, and he soon caught up to the smaller tank engines. "Run," called Burnett. "Fast as you can, Thomas." "Fast as you can, Lady," he said. "We can't let Diesel 10 catch us." The signalman saw them coming down the track, and he realized that they were going very fast. "They're racing," he said. "Sir Tom Hat does not like engines racing. I'll soon break this up." When Lady came by, he kept her on the main line. But when Thomas came by, he switched him into a siding. "No!" cried Thomas. "Lady, stop!" Lady stopped at the crossing. "What is it?" But just then Burnett saw something. "No!" he cried. "Lady, keep going! Diesel 10's coming right now!" And Diesel 10 was. Lady didn't know what to do. Diesel 10 raced past the siding and coupled himself to Lady. "I've got you now," he said. His claw reached out and grabbed Lady's cab. "Ouch," she said. "Burnett, come, please, save me." But Burnett couldn't do anything. He was still in Thomas's cab. Diesel 10's claw crunched Lady's cab and threw her off the track. Lady tumbled end over end in a shower of sparks. She landed by the track. "I've got you now," said Diesel 10 happily. He had enough time before Thomas arrived to go spin around on the turntable in the yard. And Boomer got out. Meanwhile, Thomas finally got back on the main line and came to see Lady. He was horrified. What is this?" he cried. "Lady, can you hear me?" But Lady didn't respond. Burnett got out. "Boomer," he yelled, "you're the cause of all of this." Boomer laughed. "Ha," he said. "It's about time that I took the most precious thing out of your life." "It's not the most precious," said Burnett, "but it is one of the precious things that I've ever made. It took me 10 years to build her, and likely 10 more to repair her." "Fine," said Boomer. "I don't care. You took away my life in college." "What do you mean?" said Burnett. "I never did anything." "You stole the blueprints for our steam engine." "Yes, I did, because you wanted to do a diesel engine, and that wasn't fair to me." "It wasn't fair to me either. said Boomer. You ended up getting an A on the project and I got a C. That destroyed my college career and led me to have to recruit Diesel 10 here to destroy your engine. So that's what this is about, said Burnett. Yes, said Boomer, and it's finally worked. Your lady will never be the same. Boomer walked over to talk to Burnett, but Burnett was very angry. He was so angry, he slugged Boomer across the face. Boomer flew through the air and landed in the field. Ow, he said. My jaw! It was likely broken. Thomas was about to rush at Diesel 10 when Diesel 10 roared forward. Back off, he said. He switched onto a different line, and Boomer, luckily, scrambled aboard. Goodbye, said Diesel 10, and thanks for letting me stay on the Sodor Railway. And with that, he was off. Bother, said Thomas. Diesel 10 is a very mean engine. I hope something bad happens to him. But Burnett was very sad. My lady, he said. Thomas, it took me forever to build her, and now she's destroyed. Thomas was very sad. I can go get a crane, sir, he said. We can get her up off the ground. That would be very nice, Thomas, said Burnett. Thomas went back to the siding where he had been diverted into, and came back with the breakdown crane. He didn't know how to use it, of course, but luckily Burnett did. These things are complicated, Thomas, he said. So let me show you how it's done. Thomas pushed the crane up, and soon Lady was back onto the track. Thomas took the crane back to the siding. I wonder if I'll ever have to use this, he thought to himself. Then Thomas came back to where Burnett was. Thank you, Thomas, he said, for all you've done. But it's time that Lady and I leave. Leave? Said Thomas. Sir Topham Hatt can fix her. No, said Burnett. I'd rather fix her myself. Just tell Sir Topham Hatt that, well, Lady didn't arrive at the airfield. What do you mean, said Thomas. She did. She's right here. I know, said Burnett. Thomas, you need to lie to Sir Topham Hatt. Tell him that she never arrived. When I get back to Muffle Mountain, I'll send him a message saying that I don't want to send Lady here. Is that understood? Thomas really didn't understand, but he said yes. Good, Thomas, and thank you for all you've done. You tried your best to defeat Diesel 10, but honestly, I don't think anybody can. I'll come back to the railway sometime and have the confrontation with Diesel 10. I don't know if he'll stay, said Thomas. He seemed very angry at me. He probably won't. But at least we have a shortcut. A shortcut? Said Thomas. To where? To the mainland, he said. But you need a boat, said Thomas. That could take weeks to get here. Not by my way, said Burnett happily, finally bringing out a smile. Oh, said Thomas. I see. Well, where is the shortcut? You'll need to push Lady and I for a couple miles. Is that okay? Yes, sir, said Thomas. It's all right. Burnett hopped in Lady, and Thomas began to push her away. He ended up pushing Lady to the siding where Boomer had been waiting for them. Said Thomas. This looks strangely familiar. It is, called Burnett from inside Lady's cab. Oh, said Thomas. I know where we are now. He pushed Lady and Burnett under a bridge, but soon there was trouble. Burnett got out and looked at some buffers. Bother, said Thomas. There's buffers here. I guess we'll have to go a different way. A different way? Said Burnett. Why? Because these are buffers, sir. You can't go through buffers. Burnett smiled. Yes, we can. No, you can't, said Thomas. He didn't know what Burnett was talking about. Thomas, trust me. Just give Lady a bump and I'll hop aboard, and then, well, we'll be back at Muffle Mountain. Muffle Mountain, thought Thomas. What is that? But he didn't have time to ask. Will I ever see Lady and you again? Sometime, said Burnett, but not soon. I need to go repair her. She's heavily damaged, you know. Thomas understood. He backed up and was ready to give Lady a bump. But Thomas couldn't do it. What's the matter, Thomas? He said. Hurry! Daylight's almost coming. I don't know, sir, said Thomas. I mean, what if this doesn't work, and you just go through those buffers and down that hill over there? Don't worry, said Burnett. It will. Thomas still doubted him, but he decided it was the right thing to do. Thomas raced at Lady and gave her a bump. Lady rolled slowly down the track. Burnett hopped inside just in time. Thank you, Thomas, he yelled from inside her cab. You're a really useful engine. Thomas felt very proud as he watched Lady and Burnett go through the buffers.
It's 1 o'clock.
1 second they were there, and the next, they were gone. But he didn't want to go through them for fear that he wouldn't come back. Bother, he said. I hope I'll see Burnett and Lady sometime soon again, he said.
Every story like a railroad has its heroes. Meet Thomas, he's our number one hero. Hello! But he's running a year too late today.
This is the Iron Soldier where Thomas and his friends live.
I like helping out here, invitation up to top and hat, of course. 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's to we appreciate practicing your number scoring. That's a good engine. I'm counting how much seconds they draw. What does that sign say? So they're very reliable and right on time. Sign, had a very so top and hat. Sorry for the delays. We are making this better way. Wait, what? That's what it says. Take a look. Oh, well, you weren't on time yet, Thomas. Now, I'm getting Mr. Conductor. He's looking after us while Sir Topping has a much-needed holiday. Well, I think we can take care of ourselves. Get out of my way. If unfinished business here, I want to finish it fast. Who is that? That just came in today. I call him Diesel 10 out of 10 for defense and Bluetooth strength. The blast from the past who hates us steam engines. Oh, maybe we do meet Mr. Conductor here after all, huh? On time. Far across the oceans of time, far away in Muffled Mountain and hidden deep in the valley, is my hometown, signing time.
Mine does. Okay, now it's your turn. And now I have one more balancing trick. And this time I'm going to balance myself. And I'm going to balance myself on this cylinder, on this board. I'm going to balance myself on this cylinder, on this board, and I'm going to juggle. I'm going to balance myself on this cylinder, on this board, on this table, and I'm going to juggle. There. Hey. Could you guys come around on this side? Okay. How now? Balance myself on the board, on the cylinder, on the table, and I will juggle these juggling clubs. There are two ways that I can begin this trick. The first way involves me carefully holding onto the board with both hands, and then stepping 1 foot at a time until I have myself balanced. That's known as method number 1, or the wimpy way. Method number 2 involves me letting go of the board, jumping up high into the air, and then landing with both feet balanced at exactly the same time. It's exciting. It's dangerous.
It's method number 2, the manly way. And I want you folks to guess which way you think I'll be starting this trick. Right, the wimpy way. Well, normally at this point in the show, half the audience says, no, do it the manly way.
No, do it the manly way.
At which point the other half says, hey, be quiet, let him do it any way he wants. I'll tell you what, we'll let you guys decide by voting. Raise your hands if you want me to do this the slow, boring, easy way. Okay, raise your hands if you want me to do the exciting, manly, dangerous way.
Yeah!
Okay, I'll tell you what, that was a lot closer than I was expecting. Let's do it again, this time I'll count. Raise your hands if you want me to do this the slow, boring, easy way.
You want me to do it safe?
Raise your hands if you want me to do the exciting, manly, dangerous way. It's a tie. Okay, fine, I'll do the exciting, manly, dangerous way. But the moment I have myself balanced, I want to hear a nice polite round of applause. Everybody counting and then clapping together on 3. Are you ready? And 1, 2,
3.
Everybody counting together and 1, 2, 3. Don't rush me. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Are you sure about this?
2.5.
3.
Oh!
And now, lady, I'm over here. I'm the one doing the tricks. Your kids are just sitting there. And now, for my first trick, I'd like to stand up. There, I did it. And now, juggling on the board, on the cylinder, on the table, over the wooden floor stage, over the black asphalt concrete with weeds growing. What, that's not good enough for you guys? Wasn't fast enough, was it? No! And now, I'm gonna do some of my favorite tricks. Oh wait, I forgot my favorite tricks. Oh, this helps me remember. Sometimes I just kind of have to rub my head. Yeah, that hurt. Oh yeah, that hurt again. And behind the back. Thank you.
Nice.
More?
Yes.
If you insist. I would like to point out there's nothing holding the boxes together. No glue or Velcro.
I saw you help me, Thomas, somewhere in this story. If teacher has unfinished business, there's sure to be trouble right around the corner. So fine. Scan the file, that's it. Back off. Bad amazing. You are concentrating, Thomas. Lucky for you, the buffers will do. That's what buffers are for, to stop engines from crashing. What are you doing to set, James? I'm following you to prove what it isn't so hard when you wet. I was naughty and the top hat told me of all the things to be useful and then I can come out again. He's just making this about praise for steam engines. The harder we work, the you need diesel to help. Help you, huh? Help! You always need help because steam is a long hunks of metal that can't hurt a fight. Yeah, we are not. Yes, you are. And, now I come back to find your steam engine. I'm going to destroy her and dominate you. Then you'll be nothing to useless scrap. Right, Pinchy? Big belly stinker. Very useful engines. You won't destroy us and you won't destroy her. We won't jet you and I will miss the conductor. I'm off to finish him now. What you saying, Jen?
There, what? Hey, job's finished. I reckon Shining Time is the best welcome sight of any town in our valley. Well, I'm glad you agree. Billy's old map sure helped a lot. He's on his way back now, is he? You hear that train whistle sooner than it hears itself. looking at your map. What are these mysterious shadowy lines doing on it? They look like straight railroad tracks, but I can't see any tracks around here except for the ones that you travel on.
It's mysteries that make this land so...
Magical? Well, I better be off to Muffle Mountain. I promised Mr. Stone that I'd clean out his yard today.
Does Burnett Stone ever give you a smile?
No, but he doesn't frighten my horse either. Which means I don't think he's a bad man. I think he's just sad.
I didn't know that in Muffle Mountain there's a secret that Burnett has sealed, only with his child friend Tossa. I'm going to make an engine and I'll take you with me. Promise you, Burnett, promise. I promise. This engine was the one that held these two railways together, but only Burnett knew that.
Hello, Shining Time Station Manager Stacy Jones speaking. Oh yes, the 10:15 from Pelican Falls to Shining Time is right on schedule. You're welcome. The 10 o'clock to Lucy's Leap is leaving now. Oh, Billy, I found this child's drawing in an old locker in the Lost and Found. Look at the signature, Billy. Burnett Stone. It's hard to believe Burnett could have ever looked that happy.
Oh, Burnett had a wonderful smile. And he loved railroading, too.